Kamehameha! Hello everyone, it's me! Let's learn Dragon Ball's Ultra Instinct together! Let's go!
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
It's over 9,000!
What? 9,000? There's no way that can be right!
I mean, seriously, that can't be right. Here, let me show you. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory.
Hello Internet! Welcome to Film Theory! Hello! It's over 9,000!
The Velma of YouTube channels. I'll let you decide exactly what that means. It means this channel looks really great. Like sweaters and thick rimmed glasses. Today we're taking our
It's a bit nerdy but geeky, but I like it.
first look at the series that taught us that monsters are really just greedy people with access to extremely convincing rubber masks. Scooby-Doo, a show that sustained itself as a staple of children's cartoon programming since the late 60s. I mean, think about that. A show your grandparents watched as kids is still relevant today. The next thing you know, we're gonna be seeing a reboot of the Flintstones with Bam Bam dabbing and wearing Supreme. Hopefully not, but where Scooby, Fred, Velma, Shaggy, and Daphne have found their home lately has been in the Meme-averse, joining the hallowed ranks of SpongeBob, Shrek, and Elon Musk. And of those memes, one in particular has impressed us with its power level. Literally, Ultra Instinct Shaggy. Now,
Oh my gosh! Now that's epic! Ultra Instinct Shaggy!
in case you have better things to do with your time than scour the internet looking for the meme of the week, heck, that's too generous, meme of the day if it's lucky, comes one that started at the end of last year and really took off back in January. It comes from a somewhat unusual scene in the made-for-TV movie Scooby-Doo, Legend of the Phantosaur. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Just your typical cartoon fight scene, right? Well, kinda. But Shaggy's calm demeanor and his ability to predict his opponent's moves got YouTuber Midya to remix the scene with some Dragon Ball Super music, opening the floodgates to dozens of spin-off memes. And with that, a new Z-Warrior entered the fray, Ultra Instinct Shaggy. Fight Goku! Ultra Instinct Shaggy holds firm.
Fight Goku! Ultra Instinct Shaggy holds firm!
Ultra Instinct, by the way, is a reference to the latest and strongest transformation for Goku in the Dragon Ball series. Basically, some intergalactic jelly beans decide to hold a tournament of power because no season of Dragon Ball is complete without one of those across multiple universes, with all the losers getting erased. So to save his universe, Deus Ex Goku needs to achieve his new
Deus Ex Goku. Get it? Because his plot armor, he's gonna say Deus Ex Machina, but it's Deus Ex Goku, so yeah. So anyways, these jelly beans, right, they can destroy gods in an instant, just the gods are gone.
new level, which unlocks all the powers that he's ever had access to before, as well as any potential power he still has dormant. It's hard to unlock, it's even harder to master, and it comes complete with a brand new hair color for our favorite Saiyan, white. Here everyone was making fun of me with my purple hair. Long story short, true to Dragon Ball tradition, Shaggy becoming a Z-Warrior prompted all sorts of speculation and joking about his new power level. A petition even went around to get him included into the new Mortal Kombat game, Mortal Kombat 11. I mean, it didn't happen, but it did prompt this awesome tweet from series creator Ed Boon. So I thought I'd try my best at being a scouter device today to explore what's really going on with Shaggy. How has this character, 60 years into his career, been able to harness this newfound power? And what exactly is that newfound power?
Which is amazing thing about it, it literally transcends multiple different generations involved.
Can it be quantified? What is his power level? To find
Is it over 9,000?
out, tune in next time to Shaggy Ball Z! Or you can just keep watching this episode of Film Theory. To start, we'll need to understand the source of Shaggy's powers. You see, what makes this meme even more interesting is the fact that Shaggy is always the scared character. He's always the coward. So for him to suddenly become such a skilled fighter is unexpected, to say the least. Luckily, Legend of the Phantosaur explains the transition. And in case you're wondering about what a Phantosaur is, it is literally a phantom dinosaur. Hey, I can't blame him. After 60 years of people wearing rubber masks, you gotta start stretching for new ideas. Anyway, while on a standard Scooby-Doo style adventure, Shaggy finds himself locked in a dark cupboard filled with monster masks. This sends him into a catatonic state, with the doctor giving him the diagnosis,
acute threat avoidance hypertrophy disorder.
And he's ordered not to investigate any more scary mysteries, or even step foot into the mystery machine.
He told him not to get into the mystery machine. That's why I repaid it.
The mustard machine?
Mystery machine become the mustard machines. Yeah. Continue.
So, to try and cure Shaggy from this crippling fear, the gang decides to try hypnosis.
No, it's more like hypnosis, but not the boring old-fashioned kind of hypnosis. Psycholuminescent reprogramming. PLR.
The PLR process hypnotizes Shaggy so that when he hears the word bad, he literally becomes fearless until he hears the word again. And this isn't nearly as unrealistic as it might first sound. You see, Shaggy starts out diagnosed with acute threat avoidance hypertrophy disorder.
Acute threat avoidance hypertrophy disorder.
A disorder that doesn't really exist. But if we break down the meaning of each of those words, we can actually find some pretty similar real-life issues. Acute just means that the symptoms come on suddenly. Threat avoidance is obviously referring to Shaggy's overwhelming fear responses. Hypertrophy just means to enlarge. So while cardiac hypertrophy may be problematic because you have an enlarged heart, muscle hypertrophy would actually be rather desirable because you got yourself those gains, son. In this case, the enlargement that we're talking about would be of the threat avoidance area of the brain, which is the amygdala. In real life, amygdala hypertrophy is a real thing. It can occur when someone is suffering the effects of acute stress disorder. Similar to, and often a precursor to post-traumatic stress disorder, sufferers of acute stress disorder find themselves overreacting to negative stimuli after some traumatic event, just like we see happen with Shaggy after he gets himself trapped in that monster closet. And believe it or not, true to the movie, hypnosis has actually been shown to help reduce the effects of acute stress disorder.
The additive benefits of hypnosis and cognitive behavioral therapy in treating acute distress. One time. The additive benefits of hypnosis and cognitive behavioral therapy in treating acute stress disorder. Yes!
So it looks like Scooby-Doo's story here is actually rooted in some real-life science. At least way more real-life science than I ever would have expected. But then, how does all this explain him turning into Son Goku? Well, the Ultra Instinct fight scene that started this whole thing happens while Shaggy's in one of those fearless states. In the movie, Mr. Hughley makes the point of saying that his PLR is more powerful than your standard versions of hypnosis.
This is completely different.
It's so powerful, in fact, that it even reprograms Hughley himself later on in the movie. So it seems likely that what Shaggy is undergoing here is a hypnotically induced Super Saiyan-like transformation, a concept that, for as absurd as it sounds, once again is unbelievably backed up by real-world science.
Whoa! Wait, what? That means I can do it, you can do it, we can do it. We can become Goku! That'd be awesome, isn't it?
The Soviets back in the 50s and 60s believed so strongly in the power of hypnosis that in the 1956 Olympics, they had 11 hypnotists come along with them. It seems ridiculous, right? Until you start looking at the numbers. The Soviets managed to outmedal the Americans that year, 98 medals to 74. Now, obviously, this isn't really a transformation, and it's more correlation than it is causation.
So, is it a coincidence? Because there's like correlations, there's like causations? Question marks all around.
Otherwise, you would see all countries bringing all sorts of hypnotists along with them to the games. No, the scientists who've studied hypnosis tend to conclude that it helps put athletes into a flow state, a mental state of being fully immersed in the activity that they're doing.
Flow state, you can understand it as in the zone.
Clearing their mind and putting their everything into what they're doing at that very moment. The crazy thing about all of this is that it's almost identical to how Ultra Instinct is described. It's how Goku is able to unlock this new transformation in the first place. Ultra Instinct requires that the fighter literally stop thinking, stop overanalyzing, and just exist in the moment, which is why users of it are able to react instantaneously to attacks that are happening around them. It's also why Vegeta, with his highly analytical mind, struggles when he tries to master Ultra Instinct form. He's overthinking. He can't clear his mind enough to enter the necessary flow state.
So you must understand it's something similar to respond instead of react to it. A and B. Don't just A, then B, then C. Yeah.
So does that make Shaggy the Scooby-Doo god-tier equivalent of Goku? Well,
God!
not quite. Power levels in the Dragon Ball series are usually determined by scouter devices, measuring the amount of ki energy that's possessed by a single character. Although this number should theoretically remain somewhat stable throughout your lifetime, intensive training, natural aging, and form changes, such as going Super Saiyan, can change your total power levels. Shaggy is still bound by his human limitations and lack of training, though his reaction time certainly is faster when he's in this quote-unquote ultra instinct mode. He still needs time to think about how he reacts to attacks, and he's missing out on all of those really nifty glow effects. So what exactly then is his power level? In addition to his fight against the biker gang, Shaggy's other shining moment comes at the end of the movie when he leaps across a river, jumping up a set of falling rocks to reach a hole in the roof. Shaggy is now jumping from a falling rock and gaining a huge amount of altitude from each jump. So not only is Shaggy having to create enough force to jump from rock to rock, but he's also having to do it before the rock he's on loses too much of its own altitude.
Okay, so now we are talking about from mental, from psychological to physics. That's, you didn't see that coming.
User Brendala on LiveJournal actually shared a collection of old Scooby-Doo comics with information about all of the characters, and Shaggy's height is given at 6 foot, or 1.822 meters.
Shorter than me. I'm taller than him.
So using Shaggy as a ruler in this shot, we can estimate that Shaggy is crossing
I really like it that just like food. Whatever's edible.
about 5.5 meters in the course of about 3 seconds, using 3 separate hops. Shaggy also has to at least maintain his altitude, and in fact we see him gaining in altitude with the subsequent 2 hops, bouncing over a meter off of each rock as he waits for the next rock to fall. Now consider how this needs to work for Shaggy. In a normal force diagram of jumping, the ground isn't moving, so it's exerting a force equal to your weight accelerated by gravity into the ground. When you want to jump, all you need to do is exert some extra force downward into the ground, and that propels you up off of it. But now imagine the ground is also accelerating downwards at the same speed.
Yes! So if I'm not wrong, it's Newton's second law of motion, right? Second law.
Just like we see the falling rocks do in this scene. Sure, you can still jump off of them, but actually gaining any additional height is going to be significantly harder. Instead of getting the full, equal, and opposite effect of your downward push, you now have to account for the fact that the rock is falling as well. Instead of force equals mass times acceleration like it would normally be for any sort of jump, now it becomes force equals mass times acceleration to account for your jump, plus mass times gravity to account for the falling rock. We see Shaggy hit 4 rocks in total, and 3 that we see a good measure of. His collision time with each of them takes about 2 to 4 frames each, about 1 to 2/10 of a second. So if we factor all of this in, along with Shaggy's listed 160 pounds or 72.5 kilogram weight, we find that each single leap that Shaggy is making is going to take an astonishing 5,428 newtons, or 1,220 pounds of force. Now, in 2014, Zydrunas Zavickas set a world deadlift record of 1,155 pounds, and Shaggy has to beat that 3 times in the course of a couple seconds. That is superhuman levels of strength. Not quite the power of flight, but he's getting pretty darn close. And in the Dragon Ball universe, flight or high jumps are definitely something that we can use to help calculate overall power levels.
But you must understand that this is from a fictional world, so maybe the gravity is different? Maybe.
Now, the Dragon Ball Encyclopedia Daizenshu 7 has an incredibly comprehensive look at various characters' power levels throughout the series, which will in turn allow us to give some rough comparisons to Ultra Instinct Shaggy. So let's look at Shaggy's power set. Shaggy has fast reaction times, above average strength, and the ability to almost fly, but not quite. His jumping ability is just really good and really fast. Where Shaggy hits his clearest limitation is not being able to create any sort of energy or ki-related blasts. Now, looking across the franchise's history, the original Dragon Ball series is the only time that we see this level of more grounded, realistic fighting, before power levels started to grow out of control. During the 23rd World Martial Art Tournament, we see Goku square off against his future wife Chi-Chi. During the course of their sparring, we see her demonstrate many of the same skills that Shaggy uses in the Phantasaur movie: fast reflexes and superhuman jumps, but no actual flying. So according to the encyclopedia, her power level at the time was 130. The next power level up that we see from there is 139, as showcased by Jackie Chun, aka Master Roshi in disguise, during
Get it? Jackie Chan and Jackie Chun. Get it? It's a disguise.
the 21st World Martial Arts
And also a reference to the legendary Chen Long.
Tournament. Here, he demonstrates many similar skills as Chi-Chi, fast reflexes, stronger attacks than normal, except there is one key difference. Or should I say, key difference. Haha! You get it? Key difference?
Yeah! Get it. I get it.
K-A-I? Anyway, in Jackie Chun's battles against both Yamcha and Goku, he shows his ability to harness key-related attacks. The Yamcha battle in particular shows why Shaggy wouldn't be able to hold his own in a fight like this. As such, Ultra Instinct Shaggy's power level is best estimated as comparable to Chi-Chi's, level 130. Maybe just slightly more based on that series of extreme jumps, but we definitely know that it's gonna fall somewhere between 130 and 139. Man, I feel like a Your Movie Sucks review right now. Well, it's not a 130, but it's also definitely not a 139, so let's give it a 130 and a half. I might change that number later, but that's what we're gonna go with now. That being said, it's worth noting that all of this is without Shaggy doing any training. Up until this point, he's just been a hippie who lives out in a van running away from mysteries. Given a little practice with Master Roshi and the gang, Shaggy could absolutely ascend, reaching
Get it? Kamehameha's Ugui.
higher
This.
higher power levels until finally he's able to stay just as useless as the other Z fighters on the sidelines as they watch Goku do all the work. Hey, at least he won't die as much as Krillin. So Shaggy.
Oh! Oh my god, I was gonna make that reference, but Matt Pat beat me to the punch!
Level might be a bit disappointing. Definitely not enough to match Goku. But you know where the two are comparable? Appetite. On that one, Shaggy might truly have Goku beat. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut.
Oh my god, this episode has been very enjoyable and very entertaining to watch. I hope that you find this video very just cute and adorable to watch as well. It's quite interesting if you think about it. Very thought-provoking. Anyways, if you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have any share with us. Don't forget to follow my channel and sincerely appreciate all of the support and encouragement for my work. Thank you all so much. I hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory, a film theory. Thanks for watching. Wait, and cut. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye! Once again, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you and bye-bye. Bye-bye.